Let me ask you this, because there have been a number of controversies. I'll let you give a quick reaction to them that have, as the 30 mini-army of reporters and op research people of the Obama campaign. Did you ban books in the Alaska Library? Did you try to ban books in the Alaska Library?
No, but I got a kick out of that one also. Yeah, no banned books, no desire to ban a book. That list of banned books, though, that we saw there that included Harry Potter, which, of course, had not even been written or published before I was in there to be accused of banning these books. No.
It's false.
False.
Never part of an effort to secede, have Alaska secede from the Union.
No, false. Always been a Republican, not been a part of a party that has wanted to secede.
Did you only want to teach creationism in school and not evolution?
No. In fact, growing up in a school teacher's house with a science teacher as a dad, I have great respect for science being taught in our science classes and evolution to be taught in our science classes.
You weren't supporting Pat Buchanan for president. You did have a button on.
I did wear a button at his book signing or one of the events, because here a presidential candidate coming to little old Wasilla one year, and we all showed up. It was an honor to see anyone of that stature, come to our city.
All right, the bridge to nowhere.
Yeah.
Did you originally support it, and did you change your view on it? Because the Democrats are saying, no, she originally supported it, and she said she opposed it. Well,
I killed the bridge to nowhere, and I think I ruffled some feathers there also with our congressman who had been requesting that bridge for so many years. What we needed to do up there in Alaska was find some good transportation between the two land bodies there, and we did. We found that with an improved ferry system between Ketchikan and its airport. But the bridge to nowhere is, as I've been saying in my speeches, if it's something that Alaskans really want and support, which at this time they're not willing to support to such an extent that we'll pay for it ourselves, we'd better kill the bridge, because we know the rest of the nation's not going to pay for it.
The biggest story, the biggest controversy now that has emerged with the 30 investigators, in Wasilla and the rest of Alaska, seems to deal with the firing of your ex-brother-in-law. Big issue in Alaska. Even news this morning that the Attorney General said, no, these subpoenas are not going to happen, et cetera, et cetera. What is your version of the story? My
ex-brother-in-law is an Alaskan state trooper, and he's never been fired. He's still an Alaskan state trooper. We have two different issues going on here. Two different issues. One is a cabinet member, my commissioner of the Department of Public Safety, who had some strengths in some areas, insubordinate in some other areas, as we tried to rein in budgets and tried to find efficiencies in departments, and he wasn't willing to go there with his department. But his strengths in another area of public safety, I recognize that it was my responsibility, my obligation, to make sure we had the right people in the right places at the right time in the cabinet to best serve Alaskans. So I asked him to transfer into another position, and he chose not to be transferred, so he left state service. That's one issue. It had nothing to do with a former brother-in-law, a state trooper who happened to have been married to one of my sisters until about 3 years ago. I asked the personnel board, even in the state of Alaska, if they had questions about why it was that I exercised my responsibility in replacing our commissioner. I asked the personnel board, that appropriate board to oversee such actions, to come investigate, and that's where it is now. Hopefully it's the personnel board looking into this, and it's not this obsessive partisanship that seems to have kind of captured the issue.
Well, one of the person was one of the local officials up there, state officials, was talking about this being a big October surprise. There was also talk about he admitted to tasering a 10-year-old or an 11-year-old child.
He did. This trooper tasered my nephew, and he tasered, well, that was, it's all on the record. It's all there. His threats against the first family, his death threat against my dad, all that is in the record. And if the opposition researchers are choosing to forget that side of the story, well, they're not doing their job.
Coming up, Governor Sarah